Hi, my name's Carm. I'm with Jitterbit, and this is a follow-up video. In the first video, I showed you how to build a connector for ZenDesk in this case. And now we have our ZenDesk connector here, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to map over my tickets from ZenDesk into ServiceNow. And I'm going to work backwards here a little bit. I'm going to show you the integration, and then I'll show you how I built it step by step. So first things first, I'll show you my two instances here. I have my Jitterbit instance of ZenDesk here with a couple tickets. And we're going to map them over to incidents over in our ServiceNow instance. Here's our current list of incidents. So I'm going to go ahead and deploy this integration. Or deploy and run, I should say, excuse me. Okay, operation was successful. We'll go ahead and look at the notes just to be sure. Has completed successfully. We'll get out of here, and we'll go over into our ServiceNow instance. We'll reload the page. And now you can go ahead and see that our tickets are in ServiceNow incidents. Now, this could also be a bilateral sync. I did this sort of on the fly, but we could have another operation here where on success of this operation, we then map our tickets, or excuse me, incidents in ServiceNow back over to ZenDesk. And to show you how easy this is, I am now going to go ahead and build out the same operation just right below. So you can watch the earlier video, but we went ahead and built our connector. It was super easy to do. Basically, we just looked at the ZenDesk documentation, and we copy and pasted snippets of code. In this case, all I wanted was to query my tickets, but anything else that's in that documentation, we can then go ahead and put into our connector, and we have that functionality without writing a single line of code. So it's just drag and drop. We're going to go ahead and put this in here. And then we're just going to go ahead and step through this process here. This query already has a name, so we're going to go ahead and just give it a new name for the sake of this demo. Everything looks good. I'll move this up here so I can hit the finish button. Okay. And now our ServiceNow endpoint. Now, for the sake of this demo, I already configured my ServiceNow endpoint. I didn't step through this process because all my credentials for my endpoint, which I'm still, ServiceNow instance that I'm still using, I had to put in. If you Google Jitterbit ServiceNow, one of the first results, I believe it's the first one after the ads that come up, is actually our documentation on success.jitterbit, showing you how to go ahead and configure your ServiceNow system to work with our platform. It's a step-by-step process, and I followed it for this demo. So we're going to use create here. We're going to go ahead and drag this over. And we're going to go ahead and also configure this operation. Okay. And so we're mapping over to incidents. Everything looks good. And now we need the transformation. So we hover the mouse over here, new transformation. Okay. Now, for the sake of this demo, I just mapped ID over to system ID and then description over to short description. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just drag and drop this over. Okay. Just using Control F to search here for the words and terms I need, since there's so many fields in these objects. Okay, we're good. Now, of course, I could do more, I could do less. This is simply based off of the JSON that I imported earlier from the documentation. If you have custom variables, custom objects, it's very easy to just go ahead and edit the JSON, put those in here, and this will populate as well. Now, before I exit this page also, wanted to show you something really cool. You can go ahead and actually insert scripts, JavaScript, in between the mappings. So let's do a field that we've already done before here. So you can see here the mapping is done over here. Now, any sort of JavaScript we won't want to put in here for it. So for example, if the status is open, if a field is empty or not, any sort of business logic we might want to enter in between these mappings, we can go ahead and use. We also have a lot of functions already pre-built for us that are all documented. Um, if you click on them, it'll go ahead and then give you the documentation for them. So in certain cases, you can actually go ahead and put this business logic in without rewriting any code. So we'll go ahead and get out of here. And one more thing, you can also go ahead and insert scripting here between the mappings as well. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a line item by line item or variable by variable operation that's running. It could be something that's run every time that you run an operation, every time you're mapping something over. But I digress. We should be good to go. I'm going to deploy and run this. Well, before we do this, just to be sure, I'm going to go ahead and delete our incidents here in ServiceNow. Just bear with me for one moment. Okay, great. You have to excuse me, the software I'm using to record, I have to move the window down here. Okay. Great. Once again, let's just check the notes to be sure. Excellent. We'll go ahead and refresh this page here. And our incidents are in here. Now, this is super powerful. Within a matter of minutes, we didn't have a connector for ZenDesk. We're able to look at the documentation, have a ZenDesk connector, and then within the matter of minutes as well, simply have an integration built out between ZenDesk and ServiceNow. Super powerful tool, really helpful, and super easy proof of concept. If we wanted to go further, we could have a bilateral sync made here. We could have error handling. We can simply add on to this and have all sorts of cool integrations built out. But want to show you just how easy it is to use this tool. No code needed, and super powerful. Thanks for watching. Thanks.